Welcome to Knowledge Valley for IAS, IFS, IPS. Today we are going to discuss on Vision Magazine, month of May, economics. So first topic for today is sugar industry in India. Recently, a Niti Aayog task force on sugarcane and sugar industry submitted its report to the government. So this editorial or article is about sugar industry. So Niti Aayog has given a report about the sugar industry. What is it about? This task force was constituted on the sugar industry to find a long-term solution of the problems faced by the industry. Its mandate included recommendations over crop diversification to reduce impact on groundwater and aligning sugar industry with global markets. So why was this task force created? To find a long-term solution to the problems faced by the sugar industry. What are the issues? To reduce adverse impact on groundwater and aligning sugar industry with global markets. So these are the 2 points you must remember. Now, what is the significance of sugar industry in India? It is an important agro-based industry that impacts livelihoods of 50 million sugarcane farmers and around 5 lakh workers directly employed in sugar mills. So these two numbers you must remember. 50 million sugarcane farmers are there and 5 lakh workers employed in sugar mills. Employment is also generated through various ancillary activities relating to transport, trade, machinery, and supply of agricultural inputs. Global sugar space. The sugar industry plays a leading role in global market, with India being world's second largest producer after Brazil. So remember, India is second largest producer of sugar after Brazil, producing 15 and 25% of sugarcane and sugar and sugarcane respectively. Linkage with other industries. Sugar industry is involved to make avail of sugar complexes by manufacturing sugar, bioelectricity, bioethanol, biomanure, and chemicals. So sugar and the molasses and the bagasse we know is used for electricity by making bioethanol and electricity and sugar, etc. So it is used in other industries also. So just remember, Niti Aayog has made a task force and they are going to check on the impact on groundwater and aligning with global markets. 50 million sugarcane farmers, 5 lakh workers. So these numbers are needed. Global sugar space, we are second largest producer and linked with other industries also. Okay, so just remember these numbers. Growth of sugar industry. So what we have to remember is what are the prospects of sugar industry in India. So how it has grown. A major step to liberate the sugar sector from control was taken in 1998 when licensing requirement was abolished. Delicensing caused the capacity to grow at almost 7%. Initially, remember, before 2011-12 it was 3.3 before 1997-98 it was 3.3%, but from 98 to 2012 it was 7%, so it grew by 7%. So delicensing important in 97-98. Delicensing also contributed significantly to a structural transformation in sugar industry. Till 97-98, sugar cooperatives dominated the sugar industry, but by 2011-12 it changed significantly, with private sector contributing largest share of total installed capacity. So earlier, as we know, sugar cooperatives was important. Now private sector also sugar they play a major role in the sugar industry. Although delicensing removed some regulations in the sugar sector, other regulations, that is pricing policy, compulsory jute packaging, etc., persisted. So delicensing was one way which could liberate the sugar industry, but there are other issues also like the pricing policy, compulsory jute packaging, etc. The drivers for regulations were highly perishable nature of sugarcane, small land holdings of farmers, the need to keep the prices of sugar at reasonably affordable levels, making it available through PDS. So, what are the reasons for the regulations? It is very highly perishable. Farmers have small land holdings and PDS. So just remember delicensing 1998, growing at 7%. Initially, sugar cooperatives important. Now, private sector also played a role. And why these regulations and why these changes were there. Issue faced by sugar industry. So, what are the problems or the issues which are faced by the sugar industry? So, the first is cane issues due to regulations, cane reservation area and bonding. Every designated mill is obligated to purchase from the cane farmers. So every mill is has to compulsorily buy from the cane farmers within the cane reservation area, and farmers have to sell to the mill conversely. This ensures a minimum supply of cane to a mill while committing the mill to procure at minimum price. So there is a regulation where the cane reservation area and bonding is there, means they have to compulsorily buy the cane farmers, and they also have to buy within a particular area. Now what do the farmers do? The farmers have to sell compulsorily to the mills. So it is loss on both the sides. Loss on both the sides meaning the mills have to pay a compulsory price and farmers have to take that price regardless of what is going on in the market. So market is not the determinant. So mills on their part lose flexibility in augmenting the cane supplies, especially the farmers, and so mills lose on their part because they can't increase the cane supplies, whereas the farmers have to get the related amount. Mills are also restricted to the quality of cane that is supplied by the farmers in that area. So the first issue is the cane area and the bonding which is there. Okay, the compulsory canes, sugar canes have to be bought and sold. The second issue is minimum distance criterion. Under the sugarcane control order, the central government has prescribed a minimum radial distance of 15 kilometers. So if there is a sugar mill within 15 kilometers, you cannot have another sugar mill. You have to have another sugar mill outside this 15 kilometers. So this is the rule which is there. Now because of this rule, the sugar mill is able to control a bigger area. So this regulation is expected to ensure, and why was this? So that it can ensure a minimum availability of cane for all the mills. However, this criterion often causes distortion in the market. The virtual monopoly of larger area, as I had just told you, can give the mills power over farmers, especially where land holdings are small. In addition to restricting the competition, the regulations inhibits entry and further investment by entrepreneurs. So because of these regulations, investments are not possible. So just remember the two issues. First is the cane reservation area and bonding, and second is the minimum distance criterion. Now third issue is issue with sugarcane pricing. So first was the bonds, that is the compulsory buying. Second is the distance. Third is with the pricing. So remember FRP and SAP. Now FRP is fair and remunerative prices, and SAP is state advised prices. What is this FRP? What is this FAP? Let's see. So when we talk about the FRPs, first we must know that let's see the sugarcane pricing in India. So let's talk about the sugarcane pricing in India. Just a second. The pricing of sugarcane is governed by statutory provisions of the Sugarcane Control Order 1966, issued under the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So just remember this two orders or the two acts, the Sugarcane Control Order 1966 and the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So the pricing of sugarcane is done according to these two orders or acts. So just remember, whenever the question comes, we should know this. Fair and remunerative prices. Let's see what is this FRP or fair and remunerative prices. It is the cane price announced by the central government on the basis of recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices after consulting the state governments and associations of sugar industry. So the CACP, that is Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, they declare or they announce or they advise to the central government the cane prices, and the central government later announces it. FRP is minimum price paid by mills to farmers. So FRP is the minimum price, you must remember, like we have the minimum support price MSP. FRP is given to the farmers of the sugar mills. It replaced the erstwhile statutory minimum price. Earlier there was statutory minimum price, now there is FRP. Under the FRP, the farmers are not required to wait till the end of the season or for any announcement of the profits by sugar mills or the government. So just the points you must remember over here is FRP, and FRP initially it was called as statutory minimum price, and this is given by CACP. CACP is the same which gives the MSP, and then it is declared by the central government. So central government declares the FRP. Okay, that's the minimum price. Okay, so just remember this. It assures margin on account of profit and risk to farmers, irrespective of the fact that sugar mills generate profit or not, and is not dependent on the performance of any individual sugar mills. Remember, FRP does not depend on how much the mills are making, how much money the mills are making. They have to give the price to the sugar farmers. Just remember this. So on what basis, on what parameters FRP is put? So let's see the parameters. So the parameters are, this is very important. The government or the UPSC or the other state governments can ask these questions. It is on cost of production, return to the growers from alternative crops and the general trend of prices of agricultural commodities, availability of sugar to consumers, prices at which sugar produced from sugarcane is sold by sugar producers, recovery of sugar from sugarcane, realization made from sale of byproducts, which is molasses, bagasse and press mud, of their imputed value, and finally reasonable margins for growers of sugarcane on account of risk and profit. So which are the parameters? Again, remember, cost of production of sugarcane, that's an important parameter. Return to the growers for alternative crops. So if the farmers would have grown an alternative crop, how much they would have got profit. So that is also kept in mind. Availability of sugar in the market is also a determinant. Price at which sugar produced from sugarcane is sold by sugar producers. Recovery of sugar from sugarcane. Realization made from sale of byproducts, which is molasses, bagasse and press mud. So we know molasses, bagasse, press mud, these are all used for bioethanol, alcohol and vermicompost. And reasonable margins for growers of sugarcane on account of risk and profit. So all of these are taken into consideration. So very important, many times question is asked, on what basis CACP declares the FRP? And FRP, I have told you, is the minimum money that the mills have to give on the sugarcane. In order to ensure that higher sugar recoveries are adequately rewarded and considering variations among sugar mills, the FRP is linked to a basic recovery rate of sugar with a premium payable to the farmers for higher recovery of sugar from sugarcane. So remember, in order to ensure higher sugar recoveries, okay, so the amongst the sugar mills, the FRP is linked to basic recovery rate of sugar. So we have seen from one sugarcane how much sugar is removed. That also determines the FRP. So if you are doing it in a much better way, the sugar mills will be given more money. So that is also like an incentive. So that is FRP. So there is something called as state advised prices. So when the sugarcane prices are decided, so it is not only by the FRP, state also gives some money. So it depends on the state. Citing differences in the cost of production, productivity levels, and also result of pressure from farmer groups, some states declare state-specific sugarcane prices called SAP, usually higher than FRP. So states have, because of the productivity level in the various states, because of the farmers groups, etc., states also have to declare their SAP, as they need to support their farmers. Sugar pricing policy. Price of sugar are market driven and depends on demand and supply of sugar. However, with a view to protect the interest of farmers, concept of MSP of sugar has been introduced so that industry may get at least the minimum cost of production of sugar, so as to enable them to clear cane prices due of farmers. MSP of sugar has been taking into account the components of FRP of sugarcane and minimum conversion cost of the most efficient mills. So price of sugar is important. However, with a view to protect the interest of farmers, concept of MSP of sugar has been introduced. MSP of sugar has been taking into account the components of FRP of sugarcane and minimum conversion cost of most efficient mills. So just we saw what is how the pricing is done. It is by FRP or SAP. FRP is by CACP. SAP is by the states, and it is more than the FRP as it needs to cater the state farmers. Trade policy of sugar is also so coming back, what are the problems faced? We saw first is the cane reservation area and bonding, second minimum distance, third is FRP SAP. Now we are seeing trade policy for sugar. The government has set controls on both exports and imports. These controls are imposed considering the domestic availability. As a result, India's trade in the world trade of sugar is small. Even though India contributes 17% to global sugar production, second largest producer in the world, its share is only 4%. So just remember this number. We are the second largest producer of sugar, but we are just 4% of export. So the trade is another issue. Regulations relating to byproducts. This is another issue. Certain restrictions have been placed on byproducts of sugarcane, such as molasses and bagasse. State governments fix quotas for different uses of molasses and restrict their movement, particularly across state boundaries. Molasses are important for alcohol and ethanol, and bagasse again for ethanol. Mills are also restricted from selling power generated from bagasse to other states. Such restrictions impede the revenue realization from cogeneration and reduce economic efficiency. So just remember, state governments, they are fixing quotas, plus they don't allow the end products or byproducts to move from one place to another, and even the restriction of electricity is there. Compulsory sugar packing in jute only. Under Jute Packaging Material, just remember this, Jute Packing Material Act 1987, 20% of sugar shall be mandatorily packed in diversified jute bags. The sugar industry estimates that this leads to an increase in cost by 40 paise per kg of sugar, besides adversely impacting quality. So, according to the act, it is compulsory to be packed in jute bag. So just remember the issues. First is cane reservation area and bonding, the 15 kilometers that we spoke about, minimum distance criterion. Then you have FRP and SAP, FRP by the CACP, SAP by the states. Trade policy for sugar. So we can't, the sugar canes growers can't sell them according to the demand and supply in the international market. And finally, rules regarding byproducts and jute. Other issues are high production cost of sugar. So the production cost of sugar is very high, which was 3,580 compared with 2,080 in the international prices. The reasons behind why is this so much high? High sugarcane cost, uneconomic production process, inefficient technology, high taxes. These are the reasons behind high production cost. India has the largest area under cultivation in the world, but the yield is very less. So the cost of production is very high, yield is less, even lower in North India. Average rate of sugar recovery. So we had seen government gives incentives to the sugar mills if they are able to take out more sugar. But this again is an issue. Average rate of sugar recovery from the sugarcane is less than 10%, which is much lower than in the other places like Java, Hawaii, Australia, up to 14%. Seasonal nature of industry. The sugar industry has been seasonal, and crushing season normally varies between 4 and 7 months in a year, leaving the mill and the workers idle for almost half of the year. So it's very seasonal. Inefficiency of sugar mills. So we know average rate of sugar recovery is very less. Technology is not there. Crushing season is 4 and 7 months. The other time the sugar mill is just sitting idle. So it is inefficient. The cost of production it goes very high. Demand supply mismatch due to emergence of alternative sweeteners. So there are alternative sweeteners replacing sugar. Slowdown in the pace of demand growth while continuous increase in overall production. Demand is also reducing. Some recent steps: changes in levy of duty. The import duty, which was increased from 50% to 100%, along with removal of the 20% export duty. So import duty was increased so that we import less and export more. Duty-free import authorization scheme, under which exporters are allowed to import sugar at zero duty within 3 years. Export allowed. The government allowed export of 2 million tons of sugar until the end of 2017-18 marketing year. So this was done to have a proper demand, or you can say proper supply of goods, sugar in the market. Stock holding limit on sugar mills. So according to the Essential Commodities Act, you cannot hoard or keep a lot. So stock holding limit had been by central government since June 2018, indicating mill-wise quantity of white or refined sugar prescribed for domestic sale or dispatch for that particular month. Government has fixed the maximum monthly sugar sale quota and minimum X mill sugar sale price. Building of buffer sugar stock at 30 lakh tons. Other subsidies. Ethanol blending program. So the central government notified 10% ethanol blending with petrol across the country. And even new fuel biofuel policy 2018. So these are the suggestions or recent steps, which was made. So that is changes in levy of duty. Then you have duty-free import authorization scheme, export allowed, stock holding limit, building of buffer stock, other subsidies, ethanol blending program, and new biofuel policy in 2018. Suggestions by Niti Aayog, that is the task force which was made. Increased MSP. The government can consider a one-time increase in the MSP of sugar mills or sugar to 33 rupees per kg from 31 to unburden mills. It would help sugar mills to cover the cost of production, including interest, maintenance cost, etc. Further, the MSP for sugar should be reviewed after 6 months of the notification to enhance it. So first is to help the sugar mills increase the MSP. Imposition of sugar cess of 50 per of rupees 50 per quintal for 3 years. It could mobilize around 4,500 crore, which could help provide bridge funding or act as a comfort for banks providing soft loans for improving technology or paying to farmers. So imposing the sugar cess of rupees 50 to help the farmers. Nudging farmers away from sugar cropping. The government can consider capping of farmers' lands use for sugarcane at 85%, because sugarcane takes a long time for growth, and then there is a lot of groundwater which is used, a lot of water which is used, and that is why nudging the farmers away. Further cash incentives of 6,000 per hectare could be given for shifting to alternative crops. So just remember, increase MSP, imposing sugar cess, nudging the farmers to grow other crops, and support to farmers, introduce revenue sharing formula with price stabilization fund to provide farmers from receiving prices below FRP. So there is a fund to be created so that they can, if they are getting price less than FRP, that money should be used. Earlier, C. Rangarajan committee had recommended that there should be sharing of the revenues, value created in sugar value chain between farmers and millers in equitable manner. So again repeating, what are the suggestions? Remember this: increase the MSP, imposition of sugar cess, nudge farmers away from sugar cropping, and support to farmers, that is by revenue sharing formula. So in this we have seen an important area or industry, that is the sugarcane industry. Almost whenever the question comes this year, you will be using these points. So we saw what is the significance, we saw what is the growth of the industry in the recent past after 1998, after the delicensing. Then we saw what are the issues, that is cane reservation and then minimum distance criterion. Then we had issue with sugarcane pricing, FRP and SAP, trade policy of sugar about exports and imports, on the byproducts like the bagasse and molasses and pest mode, and compulsory sugar packing in jute. Other issues we saw: high cost of production. Then we have seasonal nature of industry, inefficiency, demand supply mismatch. Now what are the steps to control all this? Changes in levy of duty, duty free import authorization scheme, export allowed, stock holding limit on sugar mills, building buffer stock, ethanol blending, new biofuel policy 2018, suggestions of Niti Aayog of task force. So suggestions like increase the MSP, imposition of sugar cess, nudging away farmers away from sugar cropping, and finally revenue sharing. So just remember, there is a new biofuel policy 2018 allows sugar mills or distilleries to make ethanol from cane juice, molasses, food grains, potato, etc. It also envisages an indicative target of 20% blending of ethanol in petrol and 5% blending of biodiesel in diesel by 2030. So remember this new biofuel policy. Thank you.